Hey YouTubers, I'm doing this sort of as a shout out tribute to Get Well Well for Mad Bad Doo-Doo. And I'm going to call this Show Me Your Scars. What I'm really hoping is everybody here in the gun prep community, knife community will get together and maybe show off and tell some of your war stories. Like Mad Bad Voodoo's bad new war story. I'm getting tongue tied. I'm not really new to this whole YouTube. But I myself have gone through exactly what Mad Bad Doo-Doo went through with his gallbladder. Had the same type of operation. I spoke to him on the phone. I gave him my phone number. He called me. Let me tell you, he is as cool talking to him one-on-one as he is on YouTube. He's a real nice guy. Gave me good advice on a lot of stuff too. But I'm calling this Show Me Your Scars. So I'm going to start off with my really appealing scars. You can see here. I have the same exact gallbladder scar here. This happened to me about 2005-06, somewhere right around in there, I believe. The same operation, same pain. My war story was I kind of woke up in the morning. I really wasn't feeling that great. You know, I knew I was definitely calling out from work because the night before I basically go to bed early because of all the pain that was happening here, and I just chalked it up to you're having a little bit of pain. Woke up in the morning and it was really bad. I knew I wasn't going to work. Called my dad, and I said, "Hey, you know, I'm not feeling that." By the time I had rolled around, it was only a couple hours before I realized that something really bad was happening. Called up my dad. He came to the house, and he picked me up. And I was in so much pain. I didn't realize I could barely move. I was in so much pain. My point was to kind of just get to the door and collapse. I knew that my dad would take care of me from there, as good dads do. And he drove me to the doctor. Doctor wouldn't even let me get out of the car. He knew exactly what was going wrong with me. Let me tell you, there's something about those old doctors with gray hair. They can just pick stuff up right away. They've been through it. And he says, you got a gallbladder problem. You're going to need surgery, and you got to go now. So my father drove me to the hospital where they put me in. And I was in the hospital for probably, God, it was really bad the way it happened. It was like a Thursday they admitted me and a Friday. And I'll tell you, the weekend staff at hospitals usually are not nearly as good as the weekday staff. And they let me go all weekend. And finally what happened is during that Saturday, Sunday, it ruptured and turned gangrene. And that's why I got the length versus the, I don't know, I'll call it the 3-point operation where they do a lower. Let's see if I can zoom out here just a little bit. But where they cut across here, and they would normally do one by your belly button and one just a little lower. So I didn't get that one. I got the big one, which was, once again, I'll try to do it for the scar here. Right across here. Now another thing you have to see is if you see that, you know, besides all the extra weight that I carry, it is swollen out here, and there's a huge chunk of scar tissue across there. It's because I was very active while it was healing. My advice to you, Mad Bad Doo-Doo, try not to be as active. Let it calm down. You will not get this mass. I mean, it's, you know, it's like a if you felt it, you would feel that there's like a hot dog with roll and everything. It's all scar tissue in that. So don't be very active. Try to let it heal, and don't do it as I did, because I was all over the place. You couldn't strap me to the bed, although I was in serious pain. Also going along with Show Me Your Scars, I want to tell a little bit about another story, my cancer story. I have had cancer twice now, and I wanted to show you my bone cancer in the leg. Now, if I remember correctly, this is called an osteogenic sarcoma. And I want to show that to you a little bit here, and I tried to, that's why this video is kind of a little bit funny. If you can see my scar here, there's a scar from right here all the way up through here, if the thing will pick it up, and wraps up and it ends right about here. Now if you take a look at my leg, which these videos are really hard to do. If you look at my leg, you can see there's also a huge dent in here, where a lot of people have a nice quad. That was where they basically zipped. They basically unzipped my leg, and let's make the video just a little better. Oh. They basically cut the bone right out of the leg there, and simply cut it, and did a dowel and joint type thing there, where they simply drilled the bone out through the marrow, shoved the steel pin in through the joint, and that's how they connected the bones at the bone in the knee and at the bone socket in the hip. So I have my original hip socket, and that's better for me in the long run. And that's how they get my my leg repaired. And I was out of work for about 8 months during that. Now during that, that was in 2000 for me. At the age of 30, when I turned 30 years old, I was totally bald from the chemotherapy. Just turned bald from all the chemotherapy. They brought out the cake with the 30 candles on there. First time I ever really felt that I was getting older. Until then, I felt invincible. So if you guys are wondering where that peak is, a lot of people seem to hit that midlife crisis. They say at 40. For me, it hit at 30. Downhill ever since. And then, of course, I had the gallbladder, followed that. And then the gallbladder, I really should have got this before. The gallbladder is a very unique thing. And I'll tell you, I mentioned my father coming to help me for that. My mother and father are still together, and they're wonderful people. And I don't want to say too much about them more than YouTube, other than they're wonderful parents. Anybody would be lucky to have parents like mine. And that happened right about the same time I was getting ready to be married. So my wife was from another state, we'll just say. And we were getting ready to move her up here, and that was going to be about a month after this whole gallbladder thing happened. My father quickly realized I was going to be in bed, out of work for a while, needed somebody to take care of me. My parents, my mother, who was in another state getting ready at the new homestead for Mom and Dad, my father was still up here, decided that Mom couldn't be pulled out of that, which he was right, and said, hey, wait a second, let's solve this problem. Let's take her, move her over a month early, right before they get married, a month early. And my wife said, I have a problem. I can't make my bill. My month's rent and a car payment or something like that. My father goes, wait a second. I don't think you understand. He goes, that's not going to be an issue here. I'm going to help you. So he paid the rent because she had to work to make the money to make that month's rent. Her little car payment, which was really not really small, he paid that too, and the rest of my wife had the money in the bank to cover. And she basically closed up the other state's her little rental unit that she had there a month half early, and didn't have to break the contract for bad stuff, whatever it was. But it was all my father's doing behind my back. I knew nothing about it. He just did it. Thank you, Dad. Well, anyway, I'm jumping around so much. I apologize, YouTube. After that, they gave me a chemical called adriamycin, which is kind of known to cause lung cancer later on. And I had lung cancer. So I also have one lung. Quiet. Shh, quiet. And with that, I had another surgery. I actually have one. Here's a quick biology lesson, the quickest one I can give you here. You have your heart here and 2 lobes. These 2 lobes make up 1 lung. You have 3 lobes on the other side. All right. It is potentially dangerous. Pause, YouTube. Sorry, YouTube, I'm back. So I was telling you about the scar. You have your lobes here. So I'm kind of lucky. I got a mass that was it was cancerous, but it wasn't the spreading kind. Usually when people get lung cancer, it shows up like a checkerboard all over their lungs. That's kind of bad. Luckily for me, it showed up as one mass, grew to the size of a grapefruit, but it did kill the 2 lobes that are on this side here. So I only have 1 lung, which is luckily the larger lung with the 3 lobes. Now people wonder how they take your lung out. They take your lung out through right there. I'm hoping I'm going to use a shot of that, but that's where they cut your lung open. Cut you out, and they pull your lungs out through your side. Hey, that's what I had to do. But luckily this time I didn't have to go through any chemotherapy, which is all the of course you guys know about losing your hair, the vomiting, everything else that it's just nasty. God, when I go into a hospital, sometimes they call it a residual memory or something like that. and it basically is when I smell that hospital smell, I still feel the nausea from getting the chemotherapy. It definitely is. I have memories when I go back into a hospital. Other than that, you know, I got all my regular nicks and scars, and you know, I'm an electrician. I can tell you an awful lot about electrical work. If any of you guys need to know about commercial or residential electrical in the United States, I know this is national, international, but just my normal nicks and scars. I have all my fingers, and that's it, guys. Post up some of your war stories. They don't have to be good, you know, even the nicks and cuts. I'm just hoping this might be a something that may snowball in the support for Mad Bad Doo-Doo. And keep looking for more things on my channel. I'm hoping to be a better contributor to the community. Thank you.